Hello, YouTube. Welcome back.
Hi,
I bet I bet you guys just missed us so much.
I know.
Okay.
Okay. All right, recording on GarageBand.
Yep. And 3, 2, 1.
Record.
Okay. And 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Tea with Claudia and B. That's Claudia.
And that's B.
Hello, hello. And today we are going to be talking more about Northanger Abbey. This week we watched a video that is based on the idea of Northanger Abbey or inspired by it. It's called Ruby in Paradise. It came out in 1993 and it is starring Ashley Judd. And I'm noticing a trend that in the 90s, they liked to release movies that were based on Jane Austen novels that I don't know what the connection to that Jane Austen novel actually is. And this movie falls into that category.
Yeah. No, I think the only connection is that they talk about the books.
Right? Because they did the same thing in Metropolitan, which came out in 1990. And then the same thing in this movie, which came out in 93. So it was a trend.
Yeah. And happy Easter. That's why I'm wearing my Easter bunny ears.
Happy Easter.
They had to make an appearance. So let me fix. Now it's all messed up. Hang on. Okay. They had to make an appearance in the YouTube video.
You know what's funny? I didn't even notice you were wearing the bunny ears because your headphones have the cat ears on them. And so I was just like, oh, there she is wearing animal ears. You can notice. But they look so cute. I love them.
I love them too. So head on over to our Instagram. We posted a picture of us in bunny ears to celebrate Easter. So
yeah, super cute. See there. Okay, so first off, we can't forget the tea with Claudia and B. So what you drinking over there, Claudia?
I'm drinking this Irish afternoon tea. And it's in my Jane Austen cup, of course.
Ooh, yes. Look at you, right on brand for us.
I am. I love it. So, and this has quotes. It has all of these quotes from all of her books, and I love it.
What does Irish afternoon taste like?
I would say it's like a little stronger than an Earl Grey.
Okay.
It has more of a punch than an Earl Grey, but I would compare it to like an Earl Grey, or like English breakfast. It's kind of that vibe. It's but it's more punchy. So I think my dad gave it to me actually, and it's definitely a tea that he would like. I mean, he drinks espresso after work, like to get more of like energy, because he usually goes out on a bike ride after work. But like this is like an afternoon pick me up. So it's kind of like has more caffeine in it and kind of like more of a punch.
I'll get you. So. Well, that sounds great. We need a punch for this. So that'll be good. I am drinking some Pero with some vanilla creamer in there. And for those of you who haven't tried Pero before, it's like a hot drink mix. It's kind of similar to Postum. It's made from chicory and barley root. So it's very like cozy and kind of savory taste. I like it.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it. I love it. And I love your mug too.
Well, thank you. It's cute. That sea green always really gets cute. Me. Anywho. Okay, so let's start off with talking a little tea talk about our obsessions this week. What's been going on? What are we dealing with?
Okay, so my obsession this week was for my school. I finally decided who's going to be who in the play, and I had the moment of like when I was posting the cast list, I had that moment of like a flashback to middle school and high school, whenever like they would run to the choir room to like see who's who in the cast list because it just got posted, and it's like so I just had that moment for them, like my heart like beating like super fast, like oh my gosh, like they're
little high school musical moment and,
like
there.
Them seeing it. Yeah, it was sweet. So yeah, it was good. So that was my like obsession, was just kind of that process again, and the getting that the nostalgic feels of all that. So
that's fun. I like that. What an exciting little thing you get to do for them. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so my obsession, it's gonna take some explaining, so bear with me here. Um,
Okay.
I think it was last episode or the episode before we talked about women's hairstyles in the 1960s and how like they would go to the
Uh-huh.
salon and get their hair done and then just not wash their hair for like a week or so or whatever. So my mom called me and she was like, I just watched that episode where you talk about ladies' hair in the 1960s, and let me correct you. So she grew up in the 60s. And so she like saw all the moms doing their hair and all that stuff, right? And so she was like, this is what they would do. They would use curlers for everything. Even when their hair was straight, they would put it in curlers because that would give it like a little bit of a curve and volume and all of that. And like, yeah, people had curling irons and hair dryers and stuff like that, but it wasn't very common. The most common thing that they would get was like those hair dryers that you go to the salon and it's like the hood they put over. They would
Mhm.
have those and they would like put it at their kitchen table and like put their hair up in pin curls or whatever. And then put the blow dryer in it. So she's like telling me all these stories about her childhood, which I like love. I feel like a little kid being like, tell me about your childhood. Also she grew up in a cute era. So it's like fun to hear
Yeah.
about it. But she was saying how she has these memories of her mom putting her hair in curlers in the morning and then setting her hair with the blow dryer. But she got this this special blow dryer, which I now want to get, that has like a hood. So you put like a shower cap on essentially over your curlers. And then it had a little tube that went down into the blow dryer, the hair dryer. And you would strap the hair dryer onto your hip. And then she could go around the house like getting breakfast ready and everything while her hair was drying in these
Oh
curlers.
my God.
Isn't that great?
Whoa. That's really
So
cool.
yeah, so every day they would do that. And my mom was saying how the stay-at-home moms could like put their hair in curlers during the day. And she had this one neighbor that she told me the story about her neighbor and I was like, oh, I wish I could be friends with this neighbor. She sounds like she's living my dream. She didn't have kids, but she kept a bunch of horses and her husband would go to work during the day. And so she would go outside and take care of the horses and all of the stuff around the house. And she would just have her hair in curlers all day. And then her husband would start to come home and she would like do her hair and look all glam and then go outside in the evening with her husband and have like this perfect head of hair. But all day she was just walking around in curlers. And I was like, that's the cutest. I love it.
That is cute. That
I
is
know.
cute. That putting that on your hip, that's so interesting.
I know. Isn't that
You know?
funny? Like just
Yeah.
getting stuff done and blow drying your hair at the same time. So curlers were the thing. I'm still obsessed with curlers. So because she was telling me those stories, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to see like the hair things, the hair tools that they would use in like the 50s and the 60s.
Yes.
So I just went into a million blog posts about hairstyling techniques and when the people started using curling irons in circulation, which of course I was like, well, I have to tie this into the podcast somehow. So then I started looking up Regency hairstyles
Yeah.
and like talking about how they would use a hot iron occasionally back in the day, but it wasn't very common at all because it was expensive and hard to maintain and kind of dangerous. So most people would use curlers, like the rag rollers that we had talked about, but
Mhm.
some people would use heat rollers and they had like these tiny curlers that you could put onto the rod of the curling iron. So it would make it hot and then you'd roll up your hair in those curlers and then you would leave the curler in your hair and pull the rod out, different
Okay.
things like that. And apparently the reason there's design in like the Jane Austen classical bun that's like pulled up a little bit and then you have the wispies and the curlies around your face. It's because in Jane Austen's time, they were leaving the French style behind. Like Jane Austen's mom experienced like the French court style of huge
Mhm.
hair that they would put powder in to make it like bigger and to maintain it. And so everyone had like powdered wigs essentially. And like women would have these huge, elaborate hairstyles that they would do and that would last them for like a whole week. And then they would use powder to maintain it. So you would
Mhm.
always like color your hair with powder. And it was just crazy. And then within a decade's time, it changed from going from that to the classic Jane Austen style that we know because they got really into neoclassic styles and they wanted to copy the Greeks and how they would kind of pull their hair back, which is why you see a
Okay.
lot of like feathers and ribbons in hair and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and they talk about how like the wispies around their face that they would pull down or the sections that were curled, they were like placed it, they wanted it to look like it was just this effortless, like I just pulled my hair up and these fell down around my face, but they were like meticulously placed to look natural, but they were like
Yeah.
never. So they
Yeah.
just talked about like all those different things on there, and there's more that I want to learn, but I was just obsessed with hair throughout the ages this week.
That's so cool.
It was really fun, actually.
Yeah,
So
it is fun. It is really interesting to learn about that. Like I did, when I went to the Jade Austen Festival in 2016,
Mhm.
I did I did like a makeup class with LBC. Is it? Yeah, LBCC Historical. It
No,
was
that sounds
super
so fun.
fascinating, and I got like a little like Regency makeup kit, and like she's
Mhm.
like, you guys should look up her account. She's so cool, and she's just a cool lady to talk to, and she has all of these like, I mean, she has a huge store. She's like she got a hand injury. She was like super into like doing costuming work, but then she got a hand injury. So then she like developed a love of like apothecary stuff, and then like she partners with museums. I don't know. It's just a really cool account to look into. Yeah, she's really fascinating. I like her. So
I love that.
it's a fun account to see. So
I mean,
if
who
you
doesn't
want
want
to
a
look
little
into all of that.
Regency makeup,
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's interesting to see, because a good point she brought up was that no matter if you were a like a I'm trying to, what do I say? Oh, like a servant, or a like the highest of the high, their books that they kept for who bought what, they would basically be buying like the same thing. Like the
Interesting.
ladies for makeup and stuff, like
Mhm.
they like the women like cared about how they looked. So like it, obviously like if you were, I'm sure of like if you were a servant or something, it would just take you longer to buy those things
Yeah.
because, saving up and stuff. But I just thought that was interesting that like no matter your income level, they were buying like the same,
Mhm.
cold creams and all of that jazz. So it's just
That's cool.
interesting. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it totally is. Okay, we're gonna have to pause for a second. I think that my audio is doing that same thing that it did before.
Oh no. Do we need to
I
start
know.
over?
Maybe. Okay, wait. Can you pause your audio or stop it, and then we'll just like start again and clap?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'm stopping now.
Yeah, mine stopped.
Okay. Let me check. I don't know why it does this. I'm just like checking to see if it's recording you or not. We're totally fine. It wasn't doing it. I thought it was for a second, but
Oh,
it's okay. Okay, so starting recording again.
okay. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, and then let's clap again.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go. Okay. Okay, so anyway, we were just talking about all of the makeup and all of that stuff. So let's talk a little bit about this movie. Are we ready to do this?
Yeah. Okay. It's funny because I started to take notes, but then I just like got like really short. I actually thought it was entertaining. Like I thought it had a good storyline. The only thing I didn't like is I didn't really like how it ended, of course, but also at the same time, it's like it's one of those things where I get mixed feelings because spoiler alert, it's not clear on whether or not she ends up with the guy that like I'm sure the majority of the audience would want her to be with. It's not clear if she ends up with him or not. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, but then again, I appreciate movies that don't always have that Hollywood ending.
Yeah.
Because that's not necessarily always reality. So, but at the same time, I'm just like, girl, what are you doing? You're an idiot. Be with this guy. Like,
I know. Okay, well, so because Ruby in Paradise, I had never heard of this movie before we started looking up Jane Austen adaptation movies and different
yeah,
things
me
like
neither.
that.
I haven't heard of it.
So, as I said before, it's starring Ashley Judd, and I'm going to read the little tiny synopsis just so you have like an idea about it. So it says, reeling from her mother's recent death, Ruby relocates to Florida, your town, to start anew. After finding a job at a souvenir store, she befriends the store owner, Mildred, and acclimates to her new surroundings. Before long, she's juggling the affections of Mildred's son, Ricky, and the good-natured Mike. So that's the story. She goes there, she doesn't know anyone, she's kind of starting over, and then there's these two guys that she kind of has relationships with, and and she's journaling the whole time. And as far as I can tell, the only connection to Northanger Abbey is that the guy Mike, he's like an avid reader, and he has a Jane Austen novel at his house, and Ruby finds it and he's all like, oh, that might be a little tame for you, but I bet you'd still like it. And so she reads it and talks about how she really liked it, and they have conversations and stuff. And I guess my take on it is that they're kind of making the point that the things that Jane Austen's heroine dealt with back in the day are still pretty similar to what women deal with today. And how essentially the idea is kind of like find a man and find somebody to like give you security or take care of you, or even like how
Which
men are supposed to kind of influence women back then. Like they would, like the guys would make decisions on things and stuff like that. Like it kind of seems like that was a point they were making.
Yeah. And like, I understand that every woman is different, but for me, being like super indecisive and like super not really like, I for certain things I don't mind being in control of, but like for the majority of things I don't really want to be in control of. Like I would love to have a partner that just like is like, okay, this is our like is the leader and this is what we're doing. But like obviously somebody that I trust to lead and not somebody that's like not, I don't know.
Well, so and that would still be a partnership too. Like you'd help make decisions together. If you didn't like something, you could be like, hey, I don't know about this. Maybe we should reevaluate. Like partnership, but somebody to take the lead. I think that's valid. That actually sounds great.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Yeah, it's not.
So it should.
I don't know.
Yeah. But okay. So I did kind of like make character connections. I don't know if these are right, but I was like, okay, so obviously like Ruby would be Catherine. I thought maybe her best friend that works at the shop, maybe she was Isabella, but she didn't end up being evil like Isabella is. And so I was like, okay, then it's not Isabella. Yeah. Rick like seemed like John Thorpe, and then Mike seemed like Tilney. So those were kind of the connections that I sort of made. And then like the boss would have been what's her face?
Mrs. Allen. Yeah.
Yeah. But I liked that Mike's hat where he works, Osceola Gardens and Pottery, because I live in Osceola County. And so I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh,
yay. Yeah.
Your hometown.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, I think that I was curious to see what connections to the characters you were going to make, because I feel like you're always really good at spotting the character connections. But yeah, I thought that Mike was going to be kind of the hero character that we would end up with, because you really don't like Ricky, and it's set up that way. Like before we even meet the character of Ricky, they're kind of talking about like, oh, he's a slime ball, kind of a thing. And he does live up to that. So you don't like him. You don't really want her to be with him. But with Mike, he's like such a complicated, he's really nice to her. He's really sweet, but he gets like really negative about things. And he kind of, I felt like they portrayed him a little controlling. Like he wanted her to choose him, and then when she wanted to be independent, he was like mad about it, and kind of got on her case, Yeah,
but I don't know, I liked him, but I like controlling. To an extent.
I don't like controlling. I like somebody who can take the lead, or somebody who can be I don't know, like softly in charge, I guess,
Well, yeah, I didn't like that he thought I didn't like that he didn't like that she was in sales. I thought that was stupid. I was like, just like let her do what she wants, like let her work. Like, because that's
Mhm.
the thing is like really like having a job is like important, I think. And like to reiterate, like if you're a stay-at-home mom, like that is your job, you know what I'm saying? But I think
Mhm.
like having a job and a purpose like that is so important for depression. So like
Yeah.
he should be like happy that she is like working in sales, you know, like
Mhm.
that she's working. And I don't know why did he have an issue with her being in sales? Was it because it just seemed like not enough purpose behind it?
I kind of got that it was like the attitude of the consumer driven issue, because he was a bit of an activist or of the sort of kind of seeing issues in society and wanting to fix them. But
Mhm.
he saw her working in sales and um, I mean, essentially she was working in the industry of like all the vacationers and all of the people there for spring break, and I think he kind of disliked that. That was what I got from it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then
Yeah.
and then he had a hard time with her going back to that job because he wanted to take care of her.
Mhm.
And when she was like, "Oh no, I got my job back. I'm fine. I'm good." He was kind of like, "Well, you didn't have to do that alone." So
Yeah.
that's
I
it.
don't know. They could have worked it out. It's
They
fine.
did. They did.
I liked Mike a lot, but
Did you?
yeah, I thought he was really cute. I don't know. I
I
was like, I would date you.
I mean, I would too. Okay, I did like this scene a lot when he was coming on to her because they met. She went into the nursery where he worked to buy plants, and so he like knew her there. And then when she came back to get more plants, he kind of hit on her, and it was so funny because he kind of started talking to her about all these plants and being like, "Did you know that this plant could like survive without water or whatever, whatever?" And he's just going on and on. And then he asked her out. And she's kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And he's like, well, how about we just meet at this time? And she's like, okay, as long as you don't talk about plants anymore. And he goes, what are plants? And she's like,
I know that was so. I loved that.
that was
That
pretty
was
cute. I
cute.
thought that was smooth.
That was cute. Yeah. Hmm. I know. Yeah, I think that obviously like he had some weird issues going on, but I don't think it was anything that they couldn't have like figured out, you know.
Yeah.
Um I don't know, but
Hmm.
I thought that they were
Yeah.
good for each other in a way.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know. I was just kind of thinking of like the insights from it or the point of the movie or why it would be grouped with a Jane Austen movie just because they mentioned Jane Austen in it. Um,
Mhm.
but I do think that Jane Austen tackles a lot of social things. Like she's basically kind of giving her commentary on the social structure and how people behaved back in the day while making it entertaining and silly and kind of endearing. So I feel like they were trying to do that with this movie, but in my opinion, it was a little on the boring side. They were making points and they were kind of showing, between her story and her neighbor of these guys that kind of control their lives and stuff. But I sometimes
Mhm.
feel frustrated with that storyline or that narrative in movies because I feel like it's cutting women short. Like just because a woman wants to have a man help them in life or make decisions like you're saying, you would like it if somebody was taking more of a role of control or different things like that in your life, but that doesn't
Mhm.
mean you're going to be like a little puppet to them or that you don't have your own
No,
goals and
no.
ambitions. It's not the
No.
same thing.
Well, no, cuz I was with somebody well, two people that were controlling in like a way that I did not like. Like it
Mhm.
wasn't I was like this is not like when I say controlling, I mean it's like I don't know, little things like where do you want to go to eat? I don't know, can you just pick please cuz I don't really care. Like that type of
Oh
thing
yeah.
like or okay, like meet me here at this time and like have the plan so I don't have to like sit and like figure it out and like,
Hmm.
like all that. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
things like that or being like, "Oh, I think that this would be really good for you. You do this and you should do that." And like, encouraging and like pushing me to like, do
Hmm.
things, but not like forcing me. I
Yeah.
don't like that or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or like making decisions for you and
Or
being like, no, that's not a good
yeah,
idea.
or being like, hey, I made a car appointment for you. It's during this day, during this time. It's like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is sweet. Oh, that's
Like
literally
something
every girl's dream.
like this sounds bad, and or maybe it doesn't sound bad. I don't think it sounds bad. But I mean, it's kind of essentially like what like you're when you're younger and you're a little girl, like kind of like your dad, like what they do kind of. And I'm not trying to like make it sound like, oh, but it's
No.
kind of like a but for me, that's just my personality. Every girl is
Hmm.
different. I know some girls like they want to do everything and they can't stand like having anybody else do that for them, and that's fine. But like for me, I'm more of a laid back
Hmm.
type, and you and I are very forgetful.
I know, like I like to be an independent person, but I want
So
somebody to take care of those details just so that I don't have to think of them.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
So
Well,
kind
I mean, I know that like there are individual um opinions and reasons for having those opinions. I tend to fall more into a traditional role that I like
hmm
a dude to do dude things, and I like I would love to be a homemaker. I would love to just be able to take care of the house and then have my husband go to work and take care of the bills, with
yeah.
reason. Like I think that it's fine to be able to help each other out in your different roles that you've assumed in your family, but
Mhm.
I love that. And
Yeah.
so I guess in a sense, when they're trying to make the point of how women always have to fall into the same role and the same responsibilities, and men kind of push women into that, I tend to feel a little resentful of that because I think, well, there's some women that genuinely want that. And that's a fine role to have. If people don't want that, that's okay. You do what makes
Mhm.
you happy in life and what will help you thrive.
Yeah.
But
Well, and
that's not, it doesn't
every
have to be
couple
looked down
is
on.
no, it doesn't have to be looked down on. Because in my family, I have some married couples that are very quote unquote traditional, like what you would like, what you would see in the 50s or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then I have some family members who it's not at all. Like I have a cousin, and her husband has like some medical problems where he can't work long hours. So but even with their personalities, this works better anyway because
Mm,
she is much more of the go-getter, the like her personality is just she's so funny, she's so engaging. So actually has her own business, and like her dad, like her and her dad are super similar. And
uh-huh.
so she basically, after he retired, she took over his business basically
Oh, that's
and is
awesome.
like running it. So she's the breadwinner, and he's the one that stays at home with the girls because they have two kids, and he like
Mhm,
cleans and stuff like that. But like it's not it seriously is more towards their personalities, but it's not
mhm.
anything I mean it's fine, and it's great that now in modern days that we have
Yeah.
that option to be like, because I think it's more of a personality thing and not necessarily like a woman man thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do think that there's certain traits that are feminine and that are like associated with women brains and all that,
Hmm.
and then opposite. But I think how those come out are unique to the person. And if it does look different, that's
Hmm.
fine. I mean,
Hmm.
it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
think,
to each their own. It's like,
yeah. I think as long as a
mhm,
relationship is healthy and both people are thriving, it's whatever
mhm,
roles they've been able to take up to make that happen is good.
mhm. Yeah, I think that's yeah. It's seriously, it's certain. It just depends on the person, depends on the couple, depends on their background. It depends on so many different variables that it's
Hmm.
not like you don't have to be pigeonholed one way or the other. It's not like
Yeah.
it is what it is. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's true.
but um, yeah. So you thought the movie was boring?
I did, honestly. I thought the most exciting part was when the credits started rolling and the song played. I was like, wow, this song is way more peppy than this whole movie was at any point. Like
It
it
was
was just,
long.
it was very
It was
long.
long. It was almost 2 hours. So
Yeah.
I watched it in two separate nights because I was just like, yeah, it was very long.
I watched it all last night
So
and I was like, geez, this movie's still going. Like Nothing much is happening
Oh
in it,
God.
which is fine. Like there's tons of movies that are similar to that, and I love them. I just didn't connect with this one. Like I felt like nothing exciting really happened. I didn't feel like there was a lot of big character development in Ruby's character.
Mm-hmm.
You did see her progress, which was really good, but she was
Mm-hmm.
super introspective. She like was really quiet a lot when other people were talking, which is fine, but it just didn't lend tons of interest on, in my opinion, you know. So
Yeah.
at the end I was kind of, which is funny that this is associated with Catherine Morland, who's like the most imaginative little thing ever. And so I thought that was an interesting take, that they made it more subdued than I probably would have, but yeah, I mean,
well,
it's not
and
a
I
bad
guess
movie. I would recommend it.
Well, the other parallel though would be that like I guess would be that I don't know, that she was reading, like Catherine was reading. I don't know. I kind of wish if they would have made her more like Catherine, I think it would have been more of an exciting movie. Made her more like doe-eyed and more like into like the fantasy part. I think that would have been hilarious. It would have been cute, but that's okay.
Well, and even the idea that Ruby, she grows up in like this tiny little backwoods place, and she gets out, and there's a line in it where she said, I got out of my hometown without being pregnant or beat up. And that's like a real big accomplishment, you know? So I kind of wish that there had been more like excitement to be out on her own and kind of be like, I could stay here and get used to this place, or I could go somewhere else. I could just see things outside from what I grew up in, you know?
Yeah. Well, also, I'm wondering how the heck did she get that house?
I know, right? I'm always annoyed by that in every movie when somebody gets a house or like their apartment, the place they live. I'm always like, how do they afford that? That's not reality.
Yeah. I honestly don't know how she, like, I wish that storyline would have been like more like all of a sudden she's just living in this house by herself. And I'm like, why? Like, what? I don't know. I thought that was really weird. I don't know. I was like, what? And then I thought so there's a part of the story where she's out of a job because Ricky is the bad news bear boy, and he is the son of the mom,
store owner.
The store owner, sorry. And he gets mad because she won't go out with him again. So he like gets really like aggressive and like comes over and, you know, tries to do things and all that.
Yeah, it's icky.
When he leaves, he was like, you're terminated from your job or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, don't even come back tomorrow.
Yeah. So she like, you know, doesn't go back. So then she tries to apply to all of these places. And during that time I was thinking, why doesn't she just ask oh my God, why did I forget his name? Mike. Yeah. Why doesn't she just work with Mike at the plant store?
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
Like, I thought that was strange. I was like, she could just work there. Like, I mean, maybe that would have been, maybe she didn't want to because it would have been like, that's like a little too much time together. Cause I totally get that. Like when you're in a relationship and then all of a sudden you start working together, that might be a little like bit sensory overload of like too much time together, but she was desperate.
Yeah.
And if she was working for him, right? Like he would, it's not like she was, how do I say this? It's not like he was just giving her money just because they were together, right?
Well,
she was earning, like, it was like it would be employee boss type, you know?
Yeah. Well, and she kept it a secret from him for a long time. And then there was a scene where she did tell him and he was like, why didn't you tell me? And she's like, it wasn't your problem. I wanted to take care of it on my own, you know? But to your point, she could have just been like, hey, is there a job available? Do you know anywhere with a job? That's not putting that responsibility on somebody else. And in my opinion, when you are looking for a job, you always ask people, you know, like, I think there's maybe been 2 jobs my whole life I had that I found on my own without getting a reference from somebody or just having somebody give a suggestion of, oh, I know this one place is hiring, or this, my friend said that her so-and-so is hiring, you know? So that's ridiculous, Ruby. Come on.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I was just like, why doesn't she ask him? Because he would help her. I don't know. And I'm really glad though that she didn't start stripping, because there's a scene, you guys, where she like goes into a strip club and she's like considering it, and then she like walks out or whatever after she
Yeah.
like someone comes and talks to her. So I'm really glad that didn't happen, because I was worried. I was like, oh no, and then she's gonna end up with Ricky again, and then she's gonna be screwed.
Ricky. Have you ever met
But
a
I
Ricky
did really
who wasn't kind of a
like.
skis?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
good.
I've met them before.
Okay, good. Go on.
Yeah.
What were you gonna
Why
say?
have you? Have you?
No, every Ricky I've ever
Oh.
met is like kind of weird.
Oh yeah. I know. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, I thought you said, have you met somebody like Ricky? I'm like, yes, of course. But I don't know. I'm a Ricky. I'm trying to think. Oh, no. I have a good friend named Ricky, and he's like so cute. He's not skis at all.
Great. Good for him.
Yeah. He's gay, or else I totally would date him. But you know.
Aw, dang it.
I know. I'm always like, I know, but we like had a whole day where we went to before COVID, we went to Universal together and like spent all day together. And I was like, it's like we're dating. You're my fake boyfriend. I call my gay friends. I'm like, oh my God, you're my fake boyfriend. I'm like,
Aw. My friend and I were having a conversation the other day because she plays volleyball. She's an avid volleyball player, and she does like groups that go and play volleyball on the grass in different parks and things like that. And they're always having tournaments. But she was saying how she's just kind of gotten used to every guy that plays volleyball is gay. And she's like, they're so cute. She says the same things that you always do, where she's like, they're so cute. They're so awesome. They're gay, of course. So, you know, not gonna, no chance there, but they're so cute, you know? And she was saying how this one guy on her team, they just hit it off, and she like loved him. And she was just like, just loved spending time with him, thought he was so fun. She's kind of a flirty person, so she just flirts with people, but it's not, you know, like she's interested. That's just how she interacts. And so that's how it was with him. And they were planning this trip to go camping somewhere. And he kept saying, leading up to the trip, he's like, you know, we're on the same team, right? Like saying that they're both going for guys. She'd be like, yeah. And then they would just go and do stuff. And then he'd kind of be like, you know, we're on the same team, right? Like, you remember that? And she's like, yeah, I'm not into you. I just love you. Okay. So it's a problem sometimes.
it is a problem. Yeah, it's definitely, for sure. I get that. I always am surrounded by them, and I love them so much. Yes. So no, I know a Ricky, and he's adorable. So I actually think I know two of them, actually, two of them. And I just remember another one. He's great too. So, yeah. So the Rickies that I know, I love. Good. I thought you met somebody that was like the character. I was like, oh yeah, I've met people like guys like that before, but
yeah. Unfortunately, there's some out there.
I know. Stay far away. So,
okay. Do you have any other notes?
I'm trying to think. What did I say before? I was on a tangent, and then because I misunderstood your question.
Oh yeah, I interrupted you with the Ricky thing.
No, it's okay. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, basically, I wish that they would have, like, maybe they did. They left it open-ended, but I wish that her and Tim would have like worked it out. But they left it open-ended. So let's hope. Is that his name? Mike. Why am I calling him Tim? What's wrong with me? Oh my God. Every Tom, Dick, or Harry, right? Good Lord. Okay.
He's actually named Mike.
So Mike, like, I think that they could have worked it out. I don't know. Because I thought that they were good for each other. I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked that he made her breakfast. That was sweet. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he was a great, I think the story of Mike is kind of one that unfortunately happens a lot today. I think that there's some really great men, but instead of women working through certain things and saying like, okay, this I'm not okay with, but this is good, you know, because she didn't like how he wanted to kind of take care of her. I think that made her uncomfortable, or that was too close to what she had seen in her parents, and she didn't want to copy that. But if they had been able to get on a good page of understanding each other's boundaries, they would have been really good for each other. And to me, that's kind of the modern storytelling that you see in movies so much, where it's like that good guy, the good guy that's like the friend and there for her and supportive and stable, she ends up being like, no, I just don't feel that for you. And then goes with the other guy. And I don't like that because I think that
I
portrays
know.
unhealthy relationships in a romantic way. In
Mm-hmm.
this case, she didn't end up with either guy, but I felt like it was kind of still the same similar storyline.
Yeah. Well, for me, that's why now that I'm older, I go way more based off fact than feeling, because
Yes.
my feelings change so freaking much, you know? Like, you know this, like when I Marco Polo you, I'm like, my anxious attachment is flaring up.
He left me on red. What is he doing? I hate that. I hate that.
And then I know. And then the next day I'm like happy as a clam. You know what I mean? So it's like like they're so fleeting that going by fact is good. Like, now I'm not saying to ignore your intuition, because I think intuition is like, because women, like, we have intuition and it's good, right?
Yes.
But I'm just saying, like, it needs to be intuition that's based off of fact.
100%. 100% agree with you there. I think, and
Because
I think romantic love messes us up. You know, the idea of romantic love. I think we can have romantic love and a stable, healthy relationship, totally achievable. But I think the portrayal of romantic love really makes us let go of healthy relationships sometimes, because there's not that spark, there's not that passion. But I think sometimes passion needs some good conditions to grow, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, that's the thing though, is it's like, just because you don't have a spark like in the beginning, like they have like in in rom-com movies, doesn't mean that you're never gonna have that.
Yeah.
Like, it's,
Totally, because sparks change too. It's all different. So, okay, we wanted to do a little. Do you still want to do the survey?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see where. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's perfect, because we still have about like 10 minutes, so we can do that.
Okay. So we thought, since this was like Jane Austen, but not really, it's a modern story, that we would do a little quiz about Jane Austen, just to bring that back in. So we're doing this BuzzFeed quiz.
Yeah.
That only a true Jane Austen fan can get 10 out of 12 on this quiz. So we're going to see.
Cool.
I'm nervous.
All right. Okay. So the first question is, what was the original title of Pride and Prejudice? The options are Pride and Prejudice, Elizabeth and Jane, The Bennets, and First Impressions. All right. I'm choosing my answer. I got it correct.
Oh, me too. First Impressions was the title.
When Austen wrote the first draft in 1796, to 1797 of what would later become Pride and Prejudice, she called it First Impressions. All right.
Which actually is a great title for that story. Okay. Next one. Who says the line, I am half agony, half hope? Options. The options are Mr. Knightley, our homeboy, Colonel Brandon, my crush, Captain Wentworth, the dreamboat, and Mr. Darcy. Okay. Are you ready to answer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna answer mine. Oh, I got it right. Thank goodness.
Yay, me too.
Okay, and the answer is, it's Captain Wentworth. The line is from the letter he writes to Anne at the end of Persuasion, confessing his feelings. And that letter is so dreamy.
Like, literally, like, that is my favorite Austen letter. Oh,
yes, I agree 100%.
So good. So good.
Really, really good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. What is the name of the youngest Dashwood sister? Margaret. I know. Margaret, Marianne, Mariah, or Mary? All right, I got it correct.
Me too. It's Margaret. I love Margaret so much.
Me too. She's so cute. And sensibility, Eleanor is the oldest, Marianne is the middle child, and Margaret is the youngest. I always connected to Margaret like really well, because I have two older sisters. So I always was like, oh, I love Margaret. She's so cute.
Best line from Margaret. The source of the Nile is in Abyssinia.
I know. I love that. I would love when she's like, lovely weather we're having, when it's like so awkward.
Well, it is. She's the best. She's the best. Okay.
Well, but that is so like reverent to like little kids, because you tell a little kid something and then they like do it, but they do it in like the way that it's like, what? That's not like what I meant.
Worst timing.
Yeah.
They never do it just how you need them to.
Yes.
Okay. Next question. In what order were Austen novels published? Ooh. So the options, let's Let's just read through them and pick them on our own instead of reading all the options.
Okay.
And then we'll say which one it is.
Okay. I got it correct.
Oh no, I'm gonna get it wrong. Oh no, I got it right. Thank goodness. Okay. The options. Here, I'll read the options. Sense and Sensibility was her first novel, published in 1811, followed by Pride and Prejudice, published in 1813, Mansfield Park in 1814, Emma in 1815, Northanger Abbey and Persuasion were both published after her death in 1818. Those were some busy years, just back-to-back releases.
Yeah. So how I always remember, like how I did Process of Elimination with this one is in Jane Austen book club. Greg, he says a line where he's like, wasn't that her first novel? And then Jocelyn's like, written first, published last. And I'm like, so that's how I like keep that in my head.
Yeah. Greg, he's dreamy too.
I know. He's so cute. Okay. Yes. What is Mr. Darcy's annual income? Oh! 5,000 pounds, 10,000 pounds, 12,000 pounds, or 20,000 pounds. You know what's weird is I thought it was a different number that's not on here.
Me too, actually. So now I'm scared.
I know. Now I'm scared too. What do I do?
What are you going to guess?
Well, okay, maybe 10,000, but then I'm like, but I thought it was 50,000.
I feel like it's 10,000, but 20,000 makes more sense because he's uber rich, right?
Let's go with our gut. 10,000.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
We got it correct.
Thank heavens. Listen, go with your gut when it comes to Jane Austen. You know.
Okay.
That is so funny.
Okay, it's correct. 10,000 pounds. Mr. Darcy soon drew the attention of the room by his fine, tall person, handsome features, noble mien, and the report, which was in general circulation within 5 minutes after his entrance, of his having 10,000 a year.
Oh la la! Sign me up. He could tell me what to do for 10,000 a year. Just joking.
I know, right? Ooh, give me that Pemberley.
Yes. Pemberley Hills. Okay. Which book ends with the word "the perfect happiness of the union"?
Oh crap.
So the options are Pride and Prejudice, Emma, Mansfield Park, or Northanger Abbey. Okay. Ready?
Okay. I don't think it's Emma.
That's what I thought it was.
Oh, okay. Then I'll choose Emma.
I'm gonna guess Emma.
Okay, ready?
Okay, you know why I remembered it? That is correct. It is Emma. Why? It's because in the Gwyneth Paltrow version, they have the narrator saying that line as it fades into the illustrations and ends. So yes.
Okay, so don't ever trust me. I've gotten so much crap wrong for some reason with Emma, being like, oh, well, that's not in the book. And then I'm like, wait, when I reread it, it is. So like, I don't know what it is with Emma. I love Emma so much. I don't know what's wrong with me with that one.
That's funny because one time I was watching the extended version of Lord of the Rings with some friends, and I kept being like, a scene would come up and they're like, that's not in the original. And I was like, yeah, it is. And every time that I thought a scene was in the original, it wasn't. And I was like, I don't know what I watched then. Like it became the joke where I was like, I'm pretty sure that's in there. And then everything was wrong. Also, watching the extended version of Lord of the Rings will take your whole life's time. It is the longest thing ever.
Mm-hmm. I know. Well, what's funny is I like when that came out, my family bought it, and that's the only version that I've like watched. I don't watch the original. I always like the extended. Just because I like it better.
It is good.
Okay. Do you want to read the description? Or is it me?
I don't know. I think it's you for the next question. Is it you or me? Did you do Emma?
Oh no, but did you read the
I get what you're saying. Okay. Sorry, that was so confusing. Okay. No, so Emma, the last line of the book is, but in spite of those deficiencies, the wishes, the hopes, the confidence, the predication of the small band of true friends who witnessed the ceremony were fully answered in the perfect happiness of the union. So cute.
I love it. How much did a publisher originally pay Austen for Northanger Abbey? Oh my Lord. 2 pounds, 10 pounds, 30 pounds, 100 pounds. I have no freaking clue.
I think it was 10 pounds.
Okay. I'll go with that. Woo!
Yay!
Hey, you're awesome.
Yeah, because she sold it originally and then she bought back the rights later when she had published other books.
Okay. I
Okay.
totally I cheat on tests all the time. You guys don't judge me. So Northanger Abbey. It was 10 pounds. Northanger Abbey, then titled Susan, that's my mom's name, was the first of Austen's books to be sold for publication for just 10 pounds. However, the publisher did nothing with the manuscript, and years later, Austen repurchased the rights by returning the 10 pounds.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I told you.
Exactly what you told me.
It's like I knew.
God.
I've been researching or something. Okay, next question. Where is the following quote from? Oh, okay. She's ready. Where is the following quote from? The person, be it gentleman or lady, who is not pleasure in a good novel must be intolerably stupid. Okay, and the options are, it's from Austen's letters, it's from Emma, Northanger Abbey, or Mansfield Park.
I got it right.
I don't know.
What? B,
was this?
We just.
Is it from the? Is it from Mansfield?
No.
It's from Northanger, isn't it?
Yeah,
oh, it's Tilney. Tilney says it, doesn't he?
Yes. Oh, did you pick it? Okay.
I did, and we got a nice, cute picture of Mr. Tilney.
I know, Mr. Tilney. Hey.
Okay, it was between Mansfield for me and Northanger. I was like, I don't remember.
We talked about it last week, so but it's okay because I didn't remember.
I don't remember what I did last night. How am I supposed to remember last week? Yet I can remember that Jane Austen bought back the rights to her novel.
Yeah, it's fine. This is why we cheat with each other. It's fine.
Yes, it's called supporting women.
The line is spoken by Mr. Tilney. I love it. Okay. Oh, I know this one. What is Mr. Knightley's first name?
Oh, I know this
George
one too.
Alexander or John George?
Yeah, because George is such an unsexy name, and I don't feel like it's right.
Well, but like I said, his name could be trash bag, and it would still be hot. Okay. Although
true.
Emma claims she will never call him anything but Mr. Knightley. Oh, I think that's really sweet.
That is cute. Next one. What play do the characters attempt to perform in Mansfield Park? We have Lover's Vows, Lover's Lament, Lover's Lane, or Lover's Passion.
I got it right.
Is it the Vows or is it Lament? Vows, right? It is Vows. It's Lover's Vows. It's a real play from 1798. Written by Elizabeth Ingbald.
Ooh, yeah.
Lover's Vows. All of those titles sounded like something that Anna Green Gables would write.
It does. Ooh, this one's hard. Who are the Watsons? Villains in Northanger Abbey, family friends of Jane Austen, the main characters in an unfinished story, or minor characters in Emma. Okay, I don't think they're in Emma.
No.
Because I don't remember them in Emma. Northanger Abbey.
No.
Because the Thorpes were the villains in Northanger. I
haven't read her unfinished stories though, so it could be
me neither.
But I'm gonna guess they're family friends. I'm just gonna put that in.
Me too. Oh, we got it wrong. No. The Watsons is the name of an unfinished manuscript about the Watson family, which Austen abandoned when her father died in 1805. I did not know that.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, we can add that to our reading list.
Yeah, we'll have to add that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know this one.
Okay, next question is, how old is Anne Elliot? The options are 25, 27, 29, or 31. I think I know what it is. I was right. What'd you get?
27.
You got it?
Yeah.
Yes, she is 27. Anne is practically an old maid in Austen's world at the age of 27. That's disgusting.
Girl, we're old maids now.
We'd be spinsters. But fun spinsters.
Yes, we would be fun spinsters.
Yay! So it said, I guess we would have gotten it the same. It says your score is better than 94% of quiz takers. Yeah. Oh my gosh, thank goodness we really are true fans. I was worried for a second.
I know. Yeah, well, I think that that leads us into like a perfect ending of our episode. Yeah. Pretty good. Cool.
Oh, goodness.
Wednesday, look out for our Dear Gentleman episode. We're going to be writing to Mr. Tilney's father.
Is he a colonel or is he, because the other one's a lieutenant, so he's Colonel Tilney.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Colonel Tilney.
Yeah. And then, oh, why did I say that? Because this episode comes out after that episode drops. You can just edit that out. That was stupid.
Well, okay.
That was dumb. That's dumb. Fine. Yeah, don't that's even fine, worry about that. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Start over. Okay. Yeah. Okay, start over. So anyway, we're gonna be starting so on Tuesday so this comes out Friday. Mm-hmm. No, edit this out again because this is gonna be, oh my God, what am I even trying to say? I don't know.
Well, we have to do lowlights and highlights. So should we do that first?
Oh yeah, let's just do that. Okay, so now edit to now. Okay. Go. Good Lord. Okay. What is your low light, B? What's your low light?
Oh, my low light. I don't know. I know that. Okay. So here's the thing. My low light was, okay. I don't want to make like life announcements yet just because of things, but, I just had to make a decision this week of like employment and different things like that. And it was all really exciting, but the low light is just basically that I'm going to be moving out of my brother's house that I've been I've been living with my brother and his family for a long time, and it's been so fun. And I'm going to move in with a friend now and have a little roommate back, and it's going to be so fun. And it's really great, but I'm just like so sad the more I think about it that I'm not going to be just hanging with fam all the time and my niece and nephews and stuff like that. So as excited as I am, I'm really sad about that.
Change is really hard, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's hard.
Yeah. And it's like when I first moved here, I had such a vicious baby hunger, and being around kids like cured that a lot. I was just like, oh, I have kids here all the time. It's fine. And so the idea of not having that anymore, I'm like, oh, that really makes me, I don't know, like my heart just comes alive in a family setting and with kids and all of that stuff. So that'll be a little hard of an adjustment, but it's still a huge blessing. It's just, that's my low light, you know?
Yeah. Oh. It changes.
Tell me, tell me about yours. What's your low light?
So okay, I'm in Pippin right now, and like I just come to realize that Pippin is just a really stupid show.
No, but there's such good music in it.
Yeah, the music is good, but I've come up with some like theories of like I think that the theory is that everybody in the cast is dead, and that except for Pippin, and that we're all like in hell, and like when we like at the end, like they're like jump in the fire, Pippin, jump in the fire or whatever. We tell him jump in fire, and we're trying to get him to die and like join us, you know? Like I feel like that's like the like, you know,
that's dark.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, that's how I kind of feel like it is. Like the music is fun. I love the aerialists, and the tricks with it are cool. I just think the show is really weird. I don't know. Anyway, so that's my low, I guess. I mean, it's still fun to like do and stuff, but it's just kind of like the show is just weird. I don't know. Yeah. So,
you know what you should do? But you should write a play about being in all of the plays and the like joy and the frustration for all the plays. You know, it could be about like actors that are backstage talking about like, it's fun. Pippin, it's a classic, but it's dumb. You know, like those kind of things.
Yeah. That would be funny. Yeah. To do like a medley of songs and then like talk about each like, Yeah. That would be fun. That would be fun. Cool. Yeah. What's your highlight?
My highlight. So I just started writing this week again. I've wanted to like start writing creatively for a while, but I always have just felt like, oh, I'm not in the mood. I don't have like any creative flow right now or anything like that.
Well, we've been writing creatively for a while though with our letters, so that's cool.
Yes, and I've loved it, and I think that's helped a lot. But I have like, you know, when you have like all your little ideas and projects where you're like, oh, I need to start that. Oh, I need to start that. I've just wanted to do those, and I keep sabotaging myself and being like, well, I need to do these things first. And so I just started on a couple simple ideas I had this week. I like wrote a poem, like different things like that. And it's just so fun. And I don't know why I stopped myself from doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's my highlight. If you guys just be creative, like it really makes you happier in life.
Yes, it does. It really does.
What about you?
My highlight is that I didn't have school on Good Friday. So instead of like working another job, I decided to do kind of like a spa day. So I got my hair cut and then I got a pedicure and it was nice. So that was my like, I've like had a good time because I was like, I desperately need my haircut. I finally got it. It's funny, the girl that cut my hair, she's a singer too. And I was like, oh wow, that's like crazy. So
fun.
Yeah. So got a new hair girl. She did a good job. And so, which it's fine. It's hard to mess up my hair because all I do literally is just get it trimmed. Like I don't really like do anything else. So that's good because I think I'm just going to kind of probably stick to this hairstyle for like the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I'm going to ever like change it up because I don't know if I want to cut it short because I feel like I would look older if I cut it short and I don't want to look older.
Oh, you wouldn't look older. No. Your hair would be so fun because you have the curl in it. It would be like super peppy.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of scared to cut it short. We'll see.
Yeah,
but,
I getcha.
I remember talking to my friend. It was so funny. I was like telling him, I'm like, I think I might cut my hair short. And he was like, no. He was like, no, you'd look older.
Oh, that's no, here's the thing. I am a short hair advocate because I feel like a lot of women have hangups with getting their hair cut short. And I loved it. Like I cut my hair short one time because I donated my hair to Locks of Love. And so like had to be short. And then after that, I was kind of like, oh, wait a second. There's all these fun hairstyles. So I've had it long, medium long, short, like pixie cut. I had like pink hair at one point, like Pink the Singer, where it was like shaved on the sides and kind of in a faux hawk.
Oh yeah.
And you just have to get the right haircut for your face shape. And then you're fine. It doesn't matter if it's short. Sometimes cutting your hair short actually makes you look younger, So, but I also get a lot of women they kind of have a little bit of like a identity with long hair, and that's fine. Just do whatever makes you feel good and attractive.
Yeah. Well, I can do like Jane Austen hairstyles with my hair long. That's what I like about it,
Yeah.
But I don't want it too long because then it's like it gets like in the way, It's like the long where it gets like caught in your armpits, like ugh, like I don't like that. But
mine always, whenever I put my purse on my shoulder, my hair gets caught in it, and that drives me insane. I want to cut my hair right there.
Oh, that's frustrating. But anyway, so yeah.
Oh, so that's a good highlight though. Just taking care of yourself.
Yeah, it was good and needed because my toes were disgusting and a mess. And so I was like, I need to get these done. And then I actually picked a new color, like a purple, because I usually always do pink. So it's like weird looking down. I'm like, oh, my toes aren't pink. So it was weird. But I was like, I'll just do purple. So,
That's so funny. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love painted toenails. They're the best.
Me too, for sure.
Okay. Well, is there anything else that we need to talk about before we sign off?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about next week, but it's okay. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we have extra episodes this month because it's a long Friday. So we're gonna creative, you guys. So get excited.
Yeah, let's figure it out.
It'll be so fun. But obviously our episodes drop every Friday, so get ready for that. On Wednesdays, we have our Dear series that comes out, and we are writing to the men of Northanger Abbey this month. So we will have lots to say to them. Also, if you're not already following us on Instagram, you are missing out on some fun content that we post there. So
we're starting. Yeah, we're going to do our Dear Gentlemen stuff. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. What is wrong with me? Our devotionals.
Yes, we're starting our Northanger devotionals on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
And we only have 8 of them this month, you guys.
It's so weird. Why is like the shortest? We have like the least content for Northanger Abbey, and it's on like the longest month. Like
I know. Yeah, and it's just so bizarre because it's like, why couldn't this happen in May? Like, like
we need 5 episodes of Pride and Prejudice
easily. Yeah, easily with Pride and Prejudice, but it's okay.
Ugh.
Live and learn. Learn.
The Austen, the literature gods got our back somehow. They'll figure it out for us.
They will.
Hey, well, happy Easter, everyone. Okay. We hope you have a great week. And follow us, like, subscribe, all those things. It helps us out tons.
It does. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Audio's turned off. Oh, I'm excited to
Bye,
edit this
YouTube.
one. Bye, YouTube. Mwah.
Bye.